Hello everyone, welcome to the second part of the expert level Let's Play, not you play, as I accidentally said in the last video. So in this video, we're going to actually go and rescue John Rafferty here, and also we're going to then go back and try to fulfill some of the conditions of the citizens in the Walbrook Basin. After that, we'll set up a few trade routes and maybe start our Arctic colony as well. Okay, so we'll go see Johnny.
Laying hand on our ships.
Old Johnny Scotsman here, and we'll see if we can upgrade our ships. We can't, because this is our first mission, so we'll accept the mission. So while that's loading, we'll just look at our needs here. So 22 vitamin drinks needed and 17 rejuvenators. So we can produce these no problem, and also later in the video we'll cover cost of trading versus cost of supply chain. Not really a hard concept, nothing needs to be taught except for if you don't know addition, then you won't understand it, but God help you if you don't. So let's get on with helping John out here.
There. That's where the bleeding cowards attacked us.
So this is essentially the only combat feature in Anno 2205, and that is these kind of battle arenas. So you go through the arena and you can collect fuel. So as you see, as we pick up each one of those orbs, it fills a fuel cell there. Right here are the different things we can spend fuel on. So we have repair ships, and it repairs everything in a radius about yay big. Shield, same radius, and mines. So of course this is 6, this costs 4, and this costs 2. So we can activate shields before going into combat, but because this isn't a very tough combat situation, no point of doing that yet. You'll find on this side here we have missile barrage, which fires 3 nuclear missiles, kind of in a bit of a triangle cluster. Then you have a support fleet, which you'll recognize a lot of Anno 2070 subs. In fact, you'll recognize a lot of graphics from Anno 2070. Take a look here. Those look like Hector ships. And then you have EMP, which is a pretty large EMP with range, pretty powerful stuff. So first thing we want to do is we want to take this turret out, so we'll attack that. So on this easy map, we could actually go right directly to Rafferty. We could blast through here and probably make it not a problem at all. But we really want to collect all the resources possible. We really want to collect as much iridium and graphene. And this is really one of the primary ways to collect it. That is, unless you have a project on your main map. I actually don't know if you can produce it in the game or not. I haven't got that far, with the exception of the projects. I don't think you can. I don't think there's any kind of method to do that. So these missions are the primary source of your upgrades, so they are kind of a requirement.
Affirmative.
So you've probably noticed that I target barrels first. Those barrels cause a lot of damage to the ship, so you want to kind of use your map to your advantage here. And John over here is healing us. He's really helping out.
For action.
So we're going to attack this iridium fuel facility and collect. You'll also notice that there's different quests on the map.
Good of you to drop.
I like to go and just go to them right away and accept them. I know there is one where we have to collect barrels.
I know it's a big thing.
So we need to use the kinetic shield 3 times. We need to find ores on land. We need to collect containers with our vehicles. So these are the containers we need to collect. Ores on land. They'll likely be together. I think that's in here. 2. There we go. So pretty easy.
Order from chaos. Yours was certainly strong enough.
Luca, my man. So this mission is ridiculously easy, but it'll kind of serve as a good kind of overview of the combat features. So let's try a little bit of strategy here. It's probably not required. We'll try it out. So let's see if this works out here.
Copy that. Coordinates
So that failed
confirmed.
horribly because my guy actually completely destroyed them, which is interesting. So I'll
Ready
get him
to
to
go.
collect this Iridium reserve here, and this fleet here will
Full speed ahead.
target that. Alright, so the goal is you want to kind of get
Weapon
the
systems
ships in the
online.
range of those, and continue that way. If you can do damage with the barrels, that's ideal. You also want to avoid the barrels as well. So
On
let's
our
collect
way.
this Iridium. Just got to get into range of it.
Taking the Bronte. Don't
Collect
worry,
this.
my drones will fix that.
Underway.
So I'm going to go it alone, and I'm going to call in a support fleet on these guys. So, just a bit of a tip.
Roger.
You have these mines, and they kind of repel vehicles like this, you'll see. So they're pretty powerful against small ships, but they're also good against these walls. If you target the wall directly, you can do some pretty good damage to them. There's a few instances where they don't work on more advanced levels, but you always want to hit the walls, take them out first.
Weapon systems
Sometimes you'll have
online.
these giant turret, like these gun emplacements attached to them, and by taking out the wall, you'll actually do quite a bit of damage to the
Green
gun
to go.
emplacement. So I always recommend taking out the wall. It's a graphene storage, so we want that for sure.
This area is off limits.
Coordinates confirmed.
All right.
Clear for action.
So we have nuclear strikes. Let's call them in.
Nuclear missile.
So it's a pretty powerful device. It's really good against these large capital ships that actually aren't in this map.
Taking care of the damages.
Here they come.
So you have graphene collected. This ship's gonna go
Affirmative.
lone wolf actually the rest of the game.
Launching. Nuclear missile.
Enemy detected.
Off you go. Self-repair. Running.
So those subs will kill themselves now.
Roger.
Like the bonus, and you'll probably again you'll see more rip-offs from the previous Anno games. So again, one thing you want to do is, of course, collect these boxes, but you can actually hold down Shift like the other Anno game, collect, and then click Shift on the other one, and you kind of have a programmed course. So I'll program
Full speed ahead.
a few actions in here for him to do by holding
No
down the
worries.
Shift key.
Clear for action.
I really hope you guys don't just stand around and let him blow you up. So this ship is taking a lot of damage.
Repair drone.
That was very,
Launch.
very close. We can take these guys out with these mines. That will do quite a bit of damage.
All hands engage.
Oh, man. There we
Full
go.
speed ahead.
Perfect. Okay. So that little ship's taking quite a bit of damage, but it's done quite a bit of work for this game.
Underway.
So we'll just round him up in here, and we'll get him to intercept with gravity.
Coordinates
ship.
confirmed.
First, we got to take him at this guy out. 'Cause he's a bit of a threat. Pop him up.
Who's bothering me? Think I got her just about right.
I'm gonna loop around. So I'm gonna loop around here like this. So on the map, if you look at the mini map, I'm gonna loop around like that, curl down, up, over, and I get Rafferty. I might destroy the ships on the way around. It doesn't really matter.
Coordinates confirmed.
I just want to make sure we get everything. So let's go.
Roger.
And you can be really kind of liberal with stuff on this map. You don't have
Here
to
they
be too
come.
strategic because it's not a hard map at all.
Bullets on the way.
Target acquired. Battle stations. Open fire.
Okay.
Coordinates confirmed. Weapon systems online.
Launching nuclear missile. Nuclear missile.
I'm just
Fire.
lazy right now, so I'm just gonna do
You're ready to use your rifle, right?
Clear for action. Copy that. Enemy detected. All hands engage.
So what I've
Here they
done is
come.
just a bulk orders. I'm gonna call in a lot of support ships to kind of get the job done.
Battle stations.
Call some pals of ours. Self-repair. Running. Overhauling in progress.
So
We are
again,
under
on a,
attack.
On a scale of not caring, I really don't care. I'm
Here
just
they
gonna keep
come.
dropping bombs. Let's talk about objectives accomplished here. So
Air systems online.
we almost got all the containers, and we need to use the kinetic shields 3 times. So
Directing power to shield. Directing power to shields.
Shields and turbines at full power.
okay, so
Tough as nails you are.
pretty much collected every valuable resource outside of this to us. So we'll collect those, and then I'll send a vessel. Actually, I'm gonna cheat a bit. I know
Full speed
it
ahead.
wouldn't quite go down like this, but it's a small guy. Just a small guy.
Coordinates confirmed.
So you're gonna go in and you're gonna take these guys out, and that's gonna be a victory. It's gonna be a pretty quick map. So let's finish this mission up.
Roger.
So he's-
Nice job you did there. Smooth, efficient.
oh, okay. So we don't need to drop them off. I was gonna
Repair drones.
so close
Launch.
with this guy.
Launching.
So that's pretty much game 1. We've collected all the resources on the map, and we've successfully destroyed all of the attacking ships.
Don't move. Ah, you showed him. Knew you had it in you. Ah,
So
you showed
overall,
'em.
pretty good
Knew
haul
you
on
had
that
it in
mission.
you.
We're gonna
Good
upgrade this
systems
ship.
are half the battle.
49 graphene, combat experience, and iridium, which is a very valuable resource. So, we can leave the mission.
I'm glad you came back unharmed. This attack gave everyone. We've lost contact to
So, the first thing we want to do is go to this colony and just construct the spaceport. It's always good to construct the spaceport pretty quickly, just because sometimes you forget and you're trying to make trade routes or make upgrades, and it's just a huge pain in the ass. So, first thing, I'm actually going to demo these production buildings, and I'm going to replace them with more efficient production buildings. But before I do these food, I'm actually going to upgrade the vitamin buildings, because vitamins are a resource we really need. Don't worry, I'm not going to destroy this. Move it to a more suitable quotes
Once
location.
Leisheng is finished restructuring, everything will return to the natural order.
I'm way too old for adventures like that. Gotta pass next time. So you better make sure you got a decent battle fleet. Stop by the dockyard if you want any ships built or revamped and that.
Okay,
Warning. Unfulfilled demand for specific consumer products.
so I think what we can do is we can kind of permanently solve the vitamin issue, and to do that, I'm going to build a kind of a dedicated vitamin production production area, so extend that out a bit. So hopefully this is enough for at least this segment and covering the needs of the Arctic population as well. Can I actually extend one more? I can.
Goods transport facing delays. Cause transporter shortage.
There we go, that'll fix it. And great feature that you can move stuff in this game. So, okay. And I think this is kind of the optimal solution as far as vitamin production goes, so I always recommend it. This power facility I'm going to move. I'm really going to just kind of completely get it out of the way of all that. And notice that we are a bit short on power, but I'm not going to upgrade the generators. I'm going to update the tidal power station. This is a very efficient upgrade. Now this is probably one of the most costly modules we have. So one of the things that's available with the power stations is the finance calculator. So kind of like a power trading department. I guess they trade the power, you know, do some kind of derivative products or swaps or whatever, and make more money. I don't know how it works, but we'll build a couple of these because this really will cut down the costs, and it's one of the buildings you want to use Iridium on. That and kind of higher level population needs buildings that take a lot of credits to maintain. So we'll upgrade this bot factory here, and we'll do it like this. Again, I don't like that.
Alright, time to make some improvements.
So that really angers me that they designed it like that. It's almost like they just want to kind of get you. So I'm just going to put a parking lot down the middle. That's kind of a cheap fix for that, but I think it makes it look much more beautiful than how it looked before. So then we'll build a road there, and then we'll shuffle in the vitamin facilities.
Consumer analyses show unfulfilled demand for specific commodities.
So let's build these up.
Everything installed. Give it a try.
So that's pretty, I think that's sufficient for our needs right now. We can upgrade a bit later if we want, if we find it's needed. Again, we're trying to drive towards efficiency. So all told right now we have 6 of these facilities. So essentially what we need is 600% in one facility. You might think that's a little bit unrealistic. Not really. Let me show you. So what we'll do, actually we'll move it over here. So we have 800%. Eliminate that module, and we'll actually put it right here. So now all those needs are met, and I do want to account for future use, so we'll leave that there as well. One thing I will do though is I'm going to eliminate these guys, because we're pretty maxed out right now, and when we do get more graphene, I am going to dump it into these specific facilities here. So let's look at our population needs just to make sure we're fulfilling everything. So again, we're low on water, and we can upgrade our water now. So I'm just going to do a full upgrade of the water systems. We'll just generate a relatively large surplus of water. And nano ceramics we're pretty low in, so we can scale up that a little bit. So note we're out of graphene now, which is fine, because our man actually sells some.
Well, if it isn't my... I know you'll find that very useful.
So he sells about 4, which isn't that much, actually. We We do need more to upgrade our spaceport. What did I say about the spaceport? What was the first thing I said about the spaceport? Anyway, yeah, so we do have sufficient population now to, no, I stand corrected. We do not have sufficient population now to upgrade to that. So what we'll have to do is build more houses, drive to the 2,500 mark, and
It's not like working for a company. It's like helping a mate.
again, that's a bit weird. Okay, we'll road these up. Build some information services real close. Okay.
Welcome. Hope everything.
Oops. Okay, so I guess what we want to drive for is 2,500 operators on this island. So once we reach that, pretty much tanked out for them. And I think we will reach that number with those upgrades, but let's upgrade everybody. Great. So let's see what our needs are. Have those
Construction of new
changed?
building types possible.
No changes in needs, just production. And that's in this. There must be a lag here because this always happens. It doesn't say there's an issue and then there is an issue, or maybe something's just a little bit wrong with my brain. So we'll go and we'll build this road here. That's fantastic, and we can upgrade more houses. That perfection. Okay. So next structure we want to build is a security facility. So this security facility, I'll actually just tuck it in there. And actually, we can still build the subway, I think. Look, everybody's hankering for security. So I think 2 should actually be sufficient for this whole population. So that's fantastic. They have all their security needs met. So the next is stock syringe. These rejuvenators. So you'll see that's one of these is 200.
Congratulations on your first taste of success.
So one of these is 200. It produces 16 rejuvenators. So
Warning.
200.
Energy
One-
demand can no longer be met.
One of these is, so one of these is another 200, and it produces 16, and another one of these is 200, and it produces 8. So you need one of each of those plants, and then 2 of these. So we're looking at about 600 credits for 16. We should see what we can buy at the global market.
Apple pie order, thanks to you.
So,
Yes,
I'm
the
not even
Beaumont
gonna ask.
girl seems sweet enough, but a bit of a stickler for the rules, don't?
so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to buy these.
I know you'll find that
And that'll
very
fulfill the
useful.
population's need. Again, I don't know what the cost differential is, but we will need to upgrade the spaceport now that our corporation
Please
is
direct
advanced
your
level.
attention to this.
We can go ahead,
Cable firmly attached.
and we got a
Elevator
graphene
pod ready
cable
for departure.
to go thousands
Congratulations!
of kilometers
The
in space
first step into space.
to a
All
geosynchronous
previews of
orbit.
the
which
global
is
economy are now accessible for you.
cool. So this is great.
Phase 2 of the lunar licensing program starts now.
It's a huge energy efficiency project right here. It's a good cost. So this facility is costing us $480 for 900 energy. That's like half a unit. That's like Anno 2070 coal. That's pretty. It's pretty slick. So we're reaching a pretty good profit margin here on the people. Let's look how we can kind of trim stuff down. So if we really wanted to, we could eliminate water, we could eliminate these fruit facilities. But actually, why don't we? So you can shut shit down. You don't have to keep it operative. So we'll do that. And also shut down these vitamin producing facilities as well. We can reactivate them at any time. That's not a problem. And let's spin some graphene and upgrade this production chain here. This oops. This isn't gonna actually make much sense with what I'm about to do. So we have a pretty high level of construction bots, so we probably don't need those for a bit. So let's shut them down. And in a hard game, this is the kind of stuff you have to do. It's a bit micromanagey, but gets your credits to about the 2,500, and that's kind of what you want to go ahead and build that that Arctic colony. So you really want around 2,500 credits ready to go per minute. Also, highly recommend about 100,000. Now, this looks like it'll fit. This one's a bit different size, as you can see. So what I've done is I've actually pressed my mouse key, my mouse roller down to rotate the view. Clearly, that one's wider than that one, so good thing we can move the houses.
You should have let me know. I don't have any...
So we're good for energy. We actually have way too much energy, so we could trim that. We could trim that down a bit. Unfortunately, just keep in mind you can't shut down those modules. But what we can do is we can shut down these power generating facilities. So I can actually shut down all of these, and we can just turn them on.
You can handle risks like that, can't you?
So we're actually making almost no wind power now. We're all tidal power. So we have pretty substantial financial strength going into that. Let's look at the dam quest. So you're probably saying, Tim, just get to the Arctic. I want to see the Arctic, but we have a few quests here. I think we should fulfill first. I'm not going to do any more combat quests.
This new technology is so amazing. Do you want to help me field test it?
And I'm not doing an 800 credit quest.
Cassian is a house of snakes. That is all I can say. You are the only one left I can trust.
I'm not doing that, guys, either.
The required channels proved ineffective. Words fail me.
I like that. So we'll press the find our ship button.
I
Press
hope
it
this
twice.
helps you.
And we'll just go and tow the ship, so we'll couple onto the ship. And then we'll do these dam quests here. Yeah, these dam quests. So we'll get some graphene from that. Pretty happy with how this looks, actually. It doesn't look too sloppy. So one
Warning.
thing we can do...
Unfulfilled demand for specific consumer products.
Okay, so we're low on rejuvenators. Let's see if we can open up that global
In the
trade
Arctic,
route.
all your actions will fall under the supervision of the Arctic custodians. Let's have a look at their territory.
So we won't look at the territories yet. That's like starting a new game, as far as the territory selection goes. Let's look at the trade routes. So we have the rejuvenators, and we calculated, I think it was the cost of each building at 200, and of course, in the middle of the production chain, which were those petri dishes. I forget what they're called. Actually, we needed 2 of those. So if we were to base it just without modules, you know, we're looking at about 800 bucks for 16 rejuvenators. So about 50 bucks per, you know, so about 200, about 1,000. So our break-even point's about 1,000. That's with no graphene upgrades. So what can the world market give us? They can meet our full demand, which is 20, for 420.
Your request has been
That's
granted.
a no-brainer.
Goods are being sent out to you.
So you're probably wondering,
Establishing connection.
why would I even build my own supply chains? Later on in the game, there's a lot more expensive supply chains that you can get, and it's worth spending that money to get them to ship them to you. And also there's a limited number of those supply chains. So now that that's fixed up, and note also too, so that trade route costs us 420. If we look at it, I think it's actually 620 because the transaction cost. So it's actually 620. So keep that in mind as well. Later on in the game, we actually get larger shipping routes and trade routes that we can use, and they cost 1,000 and 6,000. They get pretty expensive. It's actually not worth trading a lot of goods as far as selling them. You really have to trade high-level goods, which is a bit of pain in the butt because in the other Anno game, you know, you could kind of cobble together a bunch of lower-level goods for a few bucks, and you'd have some money, which was pretty good. Anyway, we'll go back to this region here. Just cancel that. That trade route's still active. And we can sort here, which is really cool. Sort by remaining time. And this will auto, you can renew this too. And you don't lose it. So we'll collect the dam remains. And then we'll go into the moon sector. And, sorry, Arctic sector, and check that out. And that's really like, if you want to build like a beautiful map, that area is a nightmare. So one of the things in the Arctic sector is we absolutely have to build residential buildings combined with production buildings. And that is because much like you have like a certain range you have to build them in, and essentially it's for heat. So you have to build them within the certain heat radius, otherwise your people will freeze. So it's really kind of annoying. And I'm not too sure on good Arctic production layouts quite yet. But our essential end goal is to get to this stage where we have executives in this area.
We're all doing pretty fine.
Executives generate tons and tons of money. So this is kind of going to be the really tough part of is this transition between the operators and executives. And then from the executives to the investors is also a difficult stage as well. So this video is really trying to tackle that. So we will continue with the video. I don't plan on stopping. I want to get into the Arctic region
You really
and keep
pulled
on
out all
going.
the
So we'll keep on going.
Very well. Help others to help yourself. Business assignments can be very profitable in terms of materials and resources.
So again, we're healthy in credits. We almost have about 100,000. We're going to enter the Arctic region now. I know I said I was going to work on the dam, but we can do that a bit later because energy is not really a priority right now.
It was a diplomatic feat to make the custodians open their lands for private corporations, so your choice of location is somewhat limited.
So we have a few starting sectors. Our largest sector is Kiev Flows. Interesting. Most acreage, at least almost pretty good amount of mountain ranges. 26 coastal building sites, and a project for logistics. So overall, a very kind of abundant sector. And we also have the Akuma Glacier, which is usually what I do, and it's really great because you can get petrochemicals in it. But it's also the smallest, but it does have a lot of mountain ranges. It does have a lot of coastal building sites. Very small, more of an industrial-based sector. Then you have this protectorate. Just kind of make like a beautiful kind of Arctic sector. I don't really see much use in this one. I like these two. This one has a lot of great benefits, has a lot of acreage. Not as much industry though. I think this one will be challenging, and it doesn't provide much, only logistics, which is very minimal.
Your corporation is
really
growing at a
tough.
steady pace. You should consider expanding into other sectors.
It's really tough because the rare materials is really crucial. And you can't get them outside of doing the missions. So, having said that though, I am going to do the logistic one this time, and this was actually my first game I used the logistic, but I've been pretty happy with this sector, but anyway, we'll go with this one this time, just to try something new.
Still sticking by the corporation.
Welcome to Phase 2 of
So
the
welcome to
Lunar
Phase
License-
2. That's all we need to say. The Arctic region essentially
It's
got
the
tons of
Arctic
resources.
Custodian's climate stabilization technology that keeps the temperatures below zero here.
I'm Dr. Howard Young. I speak for the Arctic Custodians. First, allow me to be clear. We expect you to abide by our directives at all times. The Arctic ecosystem is very delicate. Respect these rules and we'll get along just fine.
So Doctor, we gotta treat him like a regulator.
Not exactly a warm welcome, but let's just proceed with Phase 2. We need Arctic resources for rocket construction, so we have to establish a base of operations on one of these islands. Set up your new location wherever you want. All of the islands are suitable.
So we want to find an island with a lot of mountain sites. There's our man. There's our pot smoker
All right.
buddy over there.
Time to make some improvements.
Not Rafferty. Rafferty's straight shooter. This guy.
Ah, real glad you dropped by.
So this is Tilga's
If you build a distribution
grandson,
center
I
here,
guess.
I can officially sign the island over to you.
Alright, let's build this distribution center. We need 50 grand to build the distribution center.
With the acquisition of this island, you earned the mining rights for this area. The Arctic Custodians will watch you like a hawk from now on.
We have to build houses within
Their
the heating
directives are
zone, as I
strict,
said earlier.
but you should adhere to them while building up your basic infrastructure.
So
The
we'll
heating
build-
standards alone will be a challenge.
We'll keep an eye on everything here for you.
New blueprints ready for implementation.
So we'll build these roads. So we're all heated pretty well in here, and we'll build roads now. That's perfection. Okay. So you'll see on the periphery
Warning.
here.
Unfulfilled demand for specific consumer products.
So on the periphery we have issues with heat.
Fine, your settlement seems to follow our regulations well enough.
So we'll build.
You are permitted to continue the expansion of your spaceport
These
within
buildings like
reasonable
this.
limits.
So these
Well,
are
that's exactly what's on
fish
the agenda right
facilities.
now.
And I like to use them
The
as
Orbital
heaters
Watch is still threatening the Union trade
more than
routes.
anything else.
You have to establish your own shipping
And we'll
docks at
build
the
some,
spaceport.
build some fishery. Branch it out. Okay. So again, this is a really hard one to make look nice. But we'll give it a go either way. And we don't have petrochemicals as an advantage on this map, so we'll have to be very sparse with them.
Your Arctic settlement is growing at a steady pace. The staff requirements for your spaceport's shipping docks should be met by now.
Okay, so we can upgrade the spaceport. We'll do that. We'll need
The
petroleum
climate.
products.
Earth barely
Oh, it's
healed
Virgil. Hey, Virgil.
Let's see what happens.
I
when
don't
I
like
raid it.
people.
Warning.
I just like to be a
Climate
evil villain.
Stabilizer Network producing
Anno,
weather.
Yo, don't listen
Anno
to
really
him.
goes crazy with
Man,
their villains.
Jorgensen is right. We have
They
to
pick a
interfere,
German
official
guy?
admission
Come
or
on.
not. Enact a hacking
well,
counterattack
they are
against
German,
the
they
Orbital
make the game,
Watch's
so
jamming stations.
I guess that's
Or
up
destroy
to
them, if you must.
Okay, so that's a geothermal facility that I just plopped down there. That produces a lot of electricity. And of course we can upgrade modules on it. And let's square up these roads a bit here. There's no need to be sloppy. So that's good. So we're running into a human resources problem. You don't want to run into HR problems out here. So
Eternal winter. Well, you get used to it.
Life is so much. Anything else you need?
I always figure out heat
Spaceport ready for
on a
development.
secondary base. So we do have to get petroleum products to finalize the space, or rather to finalize
There's
the
some
spaceport.
serious winter
They'll
out
actually
there.
start selling them.
Why don't you
but
come
they're
in here and
expensive.
thaw?
So we'll again we'll wrap that, and we'll also build a metal foam facility to act as the primary heater for this area. Perfect. So that's how we're going to do that one. It's actually a great
Word
setup.
just
I've never had a
ends, eh?
setup this good. I just happened to stumble into it.
I'm glad you're here. Good deal.
Attention. Expansion of workforce recommended. New blueprints ready for implementation.
So now we can build these mines here.
This whole military bit isn't exactly my thing. Would you like to take over?
So you can see how this is really dramatically affecting.
Come on in and hang out. Thanks for supporting my little enterprise here.
Again, like we lost $1,000. These Arctic colonies are so pricey. Not quite as pricey as the lunar ones, but
Attention.
they're up there.
Under provision of specific consumer goods detected.
So we're really low on implants in this colony. That's neural implants. So we're just gonna trim this road off. I'm not too sure how that happened. We'll build another house here. We'll just build some fisheries. Again, we're bottlenecking on a lot of resources here. And we do need more fish, but what we need more than anything is petroleum products. Because we need to be able to upgrade these facilities. Essentially, in the Arctic, petroleum is their graphene. Okay. More logistic.
I'm glad you're here. Good deal. Come back anytime.
Okay.
I can still improve that system. Just a little fine calibration.
This is so cool. Buy some stuff, sell some stuff, meet new people. Tough life, man. Tough life.
Okay, so let's build these logistics plants, but we need we need more foam. So this is kind of the more slower part of the game, is when we're trying to get all the materials required for these facilities. I could have sworn I set up oh, because we don't have enough people. Well, one thing we can do is we can create a drone mine, so we'll do that. We have to
Quality work, you'll see.
There we go. So, use your iridium on either really low-cost power stations and save it all for the Arctic. Save a lot of it for the Arctic or later game. Don't waste it on, little stupid things. So we're good there.
There's some serious... Good choice.
And I will fix the logistical problems very quickly. So, actually, I'll put them outside of the heated area because they don't need heat, and we might be able to put houses there. So we're pretty stabilized in this sector. One thing we do need is vitamin drinks. So we'll set up a trade route for those vitamin drinks. Temperate, so from here and to here. Right, so we haven't completed finishing our spaceport.
This whole military.
We wanna rush through this mission, or we can just go ahead and you know, take a really slow go through it. I usually like to rush this one, but that's usually
There.
I have in a map
See the mess?
where we don't have petroleum available to us. But I'm just gonna show you what a rush through looks like. So this is how you do a rush through.
Battle stations.
We'll focus on our targets. And we'll raise
Energy
shields.
shield active.
Battle stations. They're attacking. On our way.
Upgrades on the way. We're gonna lose a couple
Clear
ships.
for action.
That's alright. This is how you drop this wall. Check this out.
We are under attack. Into the light post. Copy that.
Alright, these guys will take out these people.
Self-repair. Running.
Full speed ahead. Target acquired.
Nuclear missile. Fired.
It's just stupid. Our morale is impossible to destroy.
All hands engaged.
Aren't you biting off just a little more than you can chew?
I wonder if the
Well, I guess it's a good thing we have more than one building, isn't it?
Let's stir things up a wee bit.
Clear for action.
Ah,
So that's how you do a
climate
quick
here
run
has
through.
stabilized again. I really owe you one.
All
Talk
right.
about dropping the hammer.
So
Nothing
we got
we
enough
can't
petroleum.
build.
Not as much that would be
You're back?
recommended though.
Now, how's the status?
I must admit,
And I'm sure we haven't seen the last of them. But the Global Union will not give in to Drake's demands. The
All right.
lunar licensing program
Let's
must
finish it.
continue.
Beauty.
Yo, you're really expanding.
Now we
Hope
got
my
trade
branch
avail-
office in this sector
got
sees some
trade
activity now.
availability now.
The Orbital Watch
And
presents a greater threat than we
Sourced
thought.
there.
Drake must have secret supporters. It's essential the Union shows a strong presence on the moon. And to make this possible, we need you to send a fleet of colony shuttles up there.
We'll just max it
Time
up.
to conduct some space technology research.
So this is where we can gain access to the moon, but
Being
before we
exposed
really
to
get
those freezing
into
temperatures
building stuff on the moon, we really need to come a long way in this sector, and of course our Arctic sector with a bit of development as well. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to up the production of vitamins. So get these guys online here. There we go. So that's in positive condition now. So this
Oh, I don't
population
mind having visitors.
just needs neural implants now. So we can only do one trade route currently.
Warning. Unfulfilled demand for specific consumer
Which means
products.
one thing. We need to now produce these injectors. So we'll build that. We'll build 2 of these facilities. Running low on credits here. So before we upgrade that, we'll connect this. So we're just going to make a minimum viable product. And then we'll get into the major upgrades with this. How much is 6,000? It's quite a bit. So we're definitely going to need some credits. So we need to produce neural implants, and we need to build a community center. So there's not really much we can do in the Arctic because that Arctic structure actually costs 6,000. So let's see if we can. I'm gonna try something temporarily. Where'd that other trader go?
Oh, welcome.
It's like they know what I'm trying to do. It's bizarre. It's weird that it didn't. Oh, now it shows up. Okay. So again, this is one of those slow conditions where we will need those neural implants, and this is the most annoying part of the game. So we'll construct this right here once we have 6,000 credits, and then we'll begin producing our own supplies. So I'm not going to bore you with waiting around for this. So I'll see you on the next Let's Play, not you play, and review on just building up that Arctic colony, and then how to manage executive level and how to go on from there, and then eventually get to the moon. Thanks again, and please subscribe and comment to this video.